Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like being a lurker, well, you just go ahead and lurk. You just hang out. Don't have to say anything. It is, oh God. It's a Thursday. I forgot what day it was for a second there. That's not great. It's a Thursday, and I'm working on a model kit. We are going to start and most likely complete the eEXM-40 IGLIGHT. The IGLIGHT is it's a 30-minute missions kit, so it shouldn't take too much time to do. We'll, of course, panel line it, and then, if time permitting, there'll be some kit bashing tonight. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that I've got this cool model kit that will complete by the end of it, and I have some ideas of what I want to do with it, vis-a-vis making it look pretty neat and pretty cool. With a 30-minute missions kit that I built previously. And the very fact that this model kit that is going on the wish list right now, come over the overhead camera here. This kit, the IGLIGHT, is IGLIGHT. Yeah, IGLIGHT. The IGLIGHT is on my Lashbrook, is on my was on my wish list specifically because I wanted to kit bash it with a previous 30-minute missions kit that I built this year. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna make that happen. Also, hey, just a brief thing. I'm gonna say it up top, mention it again, probably in the middle, probably at the end. I'm currently sitting at 34 subscribers. The goal, the dream, is to hit 40, and I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when we hit 40. If you want to become a subscriber, you want to gift a sub, you could do that. That is a thing you could do. We're 6 subs away from hitting that goal of 40 subscribers. So give it a consideration. No pressure. If you want to get me a Christmas gift this year, consider the gift of gifted subs. Gift other people the ability to have cool emotes and not have to see ads, like pre-roll ads and stuff. It's nice. Or the pre-show ad. Anyway, I could do this without nippers, but I want to use my snipper clips. I want to use the nippers, so we'll use the nippers. We are building a guy, just a robot guy. That's the thing. The IGLIGHT is a robot man, non-binary robot person. And then what we'll end up doing is we're going to kit bash it. Some people know what my plan is. A previous kit that I built on the stream with another 30-minute missions kit. Combine those together, make ourselves something fun and silly. I look forward to that. Ooh, this is clear. Ooh, I didn't realize that. There are no polycaps for this kit. There are no stickers. It is a sticker-free build. There is some pieces that we will hit with, especially the white pieces on here. We will hit with some panel liner, and make it look nice as best we can. Of course. And we'll take our time with it because it'll be good. So normally, as many of you know, I run polls for my $10 patrons about what I should build. And if I have something coming from my wish list, it takes priority. As you can see, this kit was bought from my wish list, so it became the next thing I worked on when I finished the previous thing that I was working on. So this is like, oh, I finished the big arms Gundam, the Dantalion, finished that up. So now it's time to work on something bought from my wish list. That's how it goes. And then normally when I finished with this, I would run a poll for my $10 patrons. Except there is one kind of kit, one category of kit that if it's in my backlog, I'm building as soon as I possibly can. Obviously not jumping the queue for stuff bought off the wish list, but always jumping the queue of my own personal backlog of stuff. And that is specifically if I have a Death Scythe or a Death Scythe adjacent card. There are only a few Death Scythe adjacent cards out there, but there are a couple that, like, to me, are categorically like, this is a goddamn Death Scythe. And those get priority because the Death Scythe is my favorite mobile suit. It's my absolute favorite. I mean, I got me, hey, Lord Crashes In, I got me as a Death Scythe. So, like, I like it, as you can tell. But the plan is to work on the bootleg death scythe that I got for $8 from Temu. My $8 bootleg death scythe is the next thing that I'll be working on, because I gotta work on that next. This is like, what? Of course. Is that it for the head? That is it for the head. Now, we're moving from the head to the waist, which is weird. We're going to build the head, the waist, the body, the chest unit, then the legs, and then the arms, and then the weapons. That's strange. That's a strange thing. Oh, yeah, we got Roy. Little walker. It's a weapon, but also a little guy. Put it on there. That's weird that we're moving on. So the next thing we'll be working on this is the waist. But before that, we'll get into doing this. So we might start the death scythe tonight, depending on how long things take. Our kit bashing is very easy because it's a 30-minute missions kit. It's designed for interchangeability and all that. So it will not take long to do the idea that I have. We'll play around with it a little bit, but it'll go pretty smoothly, in my opinion. I believe it will go pretty smoothly. And I'm excited to work on it. What will I say? I cleaned my gutters all around the house yesterday. It really needed it. It was long overdue, but it was. Here's a weird thing to complain about. It was unseasonably warm. It's been very cold around here, and then yesterday it wasn't cold, and I was dressed for it to be very cold, and so I just became a sweaty mess as I was cleaning. And I was like, this is a lovely problem to have, but it was still something where I'm like, I don't love this. But I got it done. Got everything done. It was long overdue, needed to get it done. Gutters are clean. We had rain happening right now, and so it feels good to know that those gutters are not clogged, because some of them were clogged. But that has been taken care of, which is excellent. We love that. Love that around here. I hope you're doing well tonight on this Thursday. We are 1 week from Christmas Day. Reminder, I will be streaming next Thursday, Christmas Day evening. That does not change. I like streaming on Christmas Day evening. I don't love streaming on Christmas Eve, that evening, but Christmas Day, I like it. So I am excited for that. That'll be fun. That'll be next Thursday. Whatever kit I'm working on, Lego model kit, whatever it is, I'll take a pause next Thursday to work on a Lego set that is Christmas themed, because I like doing that. I like doing the holiday stuff. Also, I bought this Lego set on sale in January 2025. So 11 months ago, I bought this Lego set, and it's been sitting in my closet because it was a really good deal. And I was like, great. Now I don't have to think about what I'm getting at Christmas time to build. It was a lovely gift to myself to be like, Pat, you don't have to think about this. It rules. Lord Crasher says, we got over 50 degrees today and getting some rain to help melt the snow. Nice. Didn't have snow here in South Carolina, as you might imagine. No snow. But we did last year. We had a little bit of it, but yeah, that was not unprecedented, but it was really unlikely. So, yeah, I am not expecting a white Christmas, but we're getting a rainy Christmas, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. Is there anything else going on with me before we get into some news stuff of the day? Things like that. I don't know. I don't really. I don't have this as a news story, but like, you settle for a cold Christmas? Yeah. I do like a white Christmas. I don't know. Oh, I'll say that. I watched last night. I finished watching wrestling. It was a 3-hour wrestling show. And I decided I wanted to get into the Christmas spirit. And I was very excited to get into said Christmas spirit with a little made-for-TV movie called Muppet Family Christmas. and it was great. I love Muppet Family Christmas. It is one of my favorite Muppet things. It is... Now, are there 3 big Christmas Muppet things out there? Yes, of course there is. There's Muppet Christmas Carol and the John Denver Muppet, what was that? Yeah, it was the Muppet Show John Denver Christmas Special, which is often overlooked. And then also Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, which is Muppet Workshop. So, that 4. So let's say 4. Muppet Family Christmas is my Christmas movie. That is my ideal Christmas thing. I love it. If you have not seen it, the premise is that Fozzie gets the family, he gets all the friend group together. He gets all the Muppets together. And he's like, let's all go on a trip. And we're going to stay with my mom because she's got this house and she's all alone. And I always say I'm going to go see her for Christmas and I don't. So let's all go there. We'll have a big Christmas together. It'll be fun. We'll bring everything and fun. Mom didn't expect that. Mama Baer didn't expect that. She was ready to go out. And she also, she rented the house out. How she rented that house out for Christmas, we don't know. But she rented the house out to this nice old man and his dog. And they're from another Muppet property. It's all right. It's okay. But they're from another Muppet property. So it's like, that's fun. And then apparently also Fozzie invited everyone from Sesame Street to also come. And it's just a party. Because the guy and his dog, they're from the house that is above Fraggle Rock. And the Fraggles have a thing that is like Christmas, but isn't Christmas. They get invited. There's a point where they watch home movies, and the home movies are the Muppets as kids. And it's not animated, but it is in black and white like a home movie. And it's basically the Muppet Babies. So it's not, so technically it is not the Muppet Babies cartoon, but it is retconning. It's either you believe in one or the other. It imagines a world where Muppet Babies are the actual backstory, which is different from the movies. It is what it is. It's up for debate. You can say whatever. But it features all of the major Muppet things. John says, oh, hi, I'm John. I literally just bought the whole Fraggle Rock collection. Hell yeah. So they use a song from Fraggle Rock, an insert song, also get used again, which is really fun. There is a medley of songs where part of it is Fozzie singing I'll Be Home for Christmas to his mom, which if you know the song I'll Be Home for Christmas, the part where it says, if only in my dreams, is because the person singing the song knows they will not be home for Christmas. So it's nice to have the fun version of that. The Count sings I saw 3 ships because he's the Count and he gets to count in a song. That's very fun. Ms. Piggy makes a grand entrance in the special. It's lovely. They introduce a character that is a snowman, and he and Fozzie do a routine that is very funny and legitimately funny. Like, it makes people laugh. It is, Fozzie has never had a more successful stand-up routine. It's like a vaudeville kind of thing. And so they invite the snowman to come in. There is a thing in Muppet Family Christmas where the Swedish chef is in charge of cooking the meal and making things work. And the Swedish chef is trying to, like, the turkey that got invited turns out to be a cool turkey, and basically convinces the Swedish chef that there's a bigger bird there to feed everyone, a big bird. And the Swedish chef is like, yeah, I'm going to kill this big bird. But as the Swedish chef is trying to figure things out, Big Bird, the innocent, lovable Big Bird, is just like talking about how, like, it must be hard for the Swedish chef because he's so far away from his family. Because, like, Big Bird doesn't necessarily know where Sweden is, but Big Bird understands that Sweden is not like close by. So Big Bird is just like, oh, that sucked, but we got family and I have all these friends, and it's nice when people are together for the holidays. And Swedish Chef realizes, I can't kill this Big Bird. I can't do that. We're going to have sides for dinner. We'll make that work. And it's lovely. A lovely little scene. Very silly. The thing that I will say is, I am telling you to find it somewhere. I watched a VHS recording of the TV broadcast. And that is important. I did not watch the VHS home collection. I watched a recording that had commercials and had the opening that got changed. And that's important because there were a couple songs that they licensed for the TV broadcast that they didn't license for the home broadcast, which includes the song and dance number, the comedy routine between the Snowman and Fozzie. All of a sudden, the Snowman's just there. They cut it out. They cut out another part of the medley. There's a few things that aren't in the VHS home collection. But in the UK, they did license those songs. So the UK had a DVD. It was a Region 2 only DVD that came out that was the complete special. And so I have a burned copy of that. It is the quote-unquote best version you can get of it, but it is the complete version. Because I want to watch the version I saw as a kid, watching, like, almost wearing out a VHS tape about this special. It is phenomenal. I will shut up about this thing, but I do implore you to watch it. I want to say they added that to Disney Plus at some point. That's possible, Lashbrook. I haven't had Disney Plus in years at this point. It's possible. I don't know what version, if they put it up there. If they did, please check that out if you have Disney Plus. Muppet Family Christmas rules. There is a joke. So, the guy from Fraggle Rock, and I apologize for not remembering the character's name, he has a dog. His dog is a dog. It is a Muppet, but it is a dog. Rolf is a dog that also plays piano. Rolf comes in, and the dog starts barking excitedly at Rolf, and Rolf starts replying to the dog, and they have a conversation where the dog is barking, and then Rolf says, yeah, yeah, bow wow, woof woof, yeah, yeah, yeah. As if, and for young Pat Bear, you have to understand, that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Just the conversation between two different kinds of dogs barking at each other, and one dog that talks in human language going, yeah, 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 bark, 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 woof, woof. It's so good I love it so much. It is, so Lord Crashington, it is a bit of a goofy Pluto situation, and then one is like a dog man, and one is like a dog, but they can communicate. I don't know if Pluto and Goofy have ever tried communicating. Goofy might understand Pluto, I don't know, but it is a thing. So they have a conversation. That's very good. There is a running gag about hurting my Winnebago. They keep referencing Winnebagos. Winnebago is just a funny word they like to say. There's also an ice patch. You got to watch for that ice patch. And then everyone's having a good time. And they cut to the kitchen. And Jim Henson is there washing dishes. And he says, it's nice when they're all together. And it's just lovely. It's just a lovely little moment. It rules. It's just such a good special, and it's great. When I said that there was Christmas stuff, and I mentioned the pillars of the Christmas things, the often forgotten about John Denver Christmas special, the Muppet Family Christmas, of course, Muppet Christmas Carol. One that does not necessarily, also maybe not get enough love, is there is a Christmas special for Sesame Street, and it has The A plot is like they go ice skating. There's a long extended segment ice skating, but there's like making sure Santa can find somebody is like the A plot, and there's like a B plot about Oscar, and the C plot is Cookie Monster eats a telephone. It's very good. It's real good. Anyway, those are the big Christmas things. If you want to watch some Christmas stuff for the Muppets, Muppet Family Christmas, I recommend highly. I think it's just a lovely time and really fun. And yeah, I don't know. So I watched that last night. Got me into the Christmas spirit real good. So that I was pleased about that. Let's see. I mentioned that I will be streaming next Thursday. Of course, I should also say I'm streaming this Saturday, this coming Monday, this coming Tuesday. This coming Tuesday will be CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K25, where there will be a Santa in every match. It will be my holiday, a Christmas-related stream, so that'll be fun. And then next Thursday, Christmas Day evening, working on a Lego set, Christmas themed Lego set, and that'll be fun. And then a week from this Saturday, no stream. Taking the 27th. Yes, that would make sense to be. It would make sense that would be the 27th, because that's, yeah, Saturday the 27th. No stream on Saturday the 27th. Because I will be watching World's End, an AEW pay-per-view. The last pay-per-view of the year, the last pay-per-view until Revolution in March, because they're not doing a pay-per-view in January this year, which is good, because that last one wasn't anything that made sense to really do. So, sure. Right now, there are, we know of 3, so there are 6 confirmed matches, 3 of which we know the participants of. The other 3 we won't know until right before the event, and then it'll be taped ahead of time and we'll know, but whatever. This weekend, AEW is taping their Wednesday, and instead of Saturday, Collision will be on Thursday next week. So they're taping this weekend those shows. So we'll know who the Blue League and Gold League winners and runners-ups are. Basically, there's a tournament. The finals of the tournament will be happening that night, but also the semifinals of the tournament will happen that night. So the winner of one league will face the runner-up of another league, and there'll be ties. There could easily be ties. And then they'll meet in the finals that night, and that's how we're going to situate that thing. Also, Chris Statlander is going to be defending her AEW Women's World Championship against Jamie Hayter. And that's one of them may turn heel. We might get Jamie Hayter loses and gets pissed off. Who knows what's going to happen there. I think it'll be a good contest because it's some real good wrestlers. But right now it's a face versus face confrontation. So we'll see how that works out. All right, this has to go in here. And I don't know how it goes in. Does it go in like this? How do you work? You go like this? You go like that? Oh, you go in like that. That makes sense. There we go. Again, no stickers on this, so you got to use it in plastic. It's so weird. We're having 2 collisions this week, technically. Yes, Lashbrook. So, basically, AEW had an hour of Collision last night at the end of Dynamite, which they normally do the week of the pay-per-view. Instead, this week, they didn't. And they did, and they're going to have 1 hour on Saturday, the other hour Collision, because they still need to have that commitment. Because of sports, it's mostly sports. So they did 3 hours last night, and they'll do, Dynamite and 1 hour Collision till the other Collision this week, because that way they honor their commitments, and also they get out of the way of sports. So this Saturday at 2:30 p.m., is an hour of AEW Collision that is coast to coast, so there will be no West Coast replay because of sporting events. And then next week, Dynamite is on Wednesday, and Collision is on Thursday, and they are on at different times than you would normally have them on. And I'm going to look that up right now because I did save that. This kit has a US Super Nintendo controller color scheme. Yeah, we are white, gray, and purple here. Dark gray, purple. Let's see. Yes. Christmas Dynamite on 34th Street is on at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve is then. And then on the 25th, Christmas Day evening, while I am streaming, will be the Collision. So that'll be on Collision Christmas at 9 p.m. on the 27th. And then World's End is on at 8 p.m. on the 27th. No word on 0 hour. We do know there's not a bash. So TNT will not have a pre-show. So it'll probably just be 0 hour and have wrestling on it is the assumption. But we don't really know because they haven't actually said. But that is the assumption. And then they named the last Dynamite of the year Dynamite New Year Smash. So, which is fine. But anyway, the other matches we know about are the Babes of Wrath, which is Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, the first ever. So far, the first and only. Are defending their belts against Mercedes Moné and Athena, who are like top heels that don't trust each other, but they also don't trust anybody else, so it works. They do not have a tag team name. They will not wear matching costumes. On the one hand, that's going to be real good. I don't love the idea of Athena getting pinned, but maybe Mercedes will get pinned. She probably won't. It'll be Athena. But also, maybe Willow and Harley lose. I don't think they should, but they might lose. I don't know. I will say this. I don't like that Mercedes is in this match. Oh, these are the wrong pieces. I pulled the wrong pieces out. I need B8. I got the wrong ones out. I don't like that because Mercedes is in this match, she is not defending her TBS championship. There was the possibility we could have had three women's matches on the card, and maybe there'll be a pre-show women's match. Maybe something will happen, and there'll be some other thing because there are plenty of other women on the roster. But yeah, a little annoyed that it's Mercedes in there. They couldn't do it on this one. And then the other match we know is Samoa Joe is defending his AEW Men's World Championship against Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page and MJF, who is cashing in his Casino Gauntlet Guaranteed Championship match. The wait is over. The thing we all knew was going to happen is happening. It is the best case scenario for haters of MJF because it means he only gets 2 promos last night, and then he'll have one next week, I'm sure. And it's not a singles match with MJF and Hangman or Swerve or Samoa Joe. So that's that. I'm fine with it. I think a 4-way is going to be real good. I think they'll all do their best and it'll be a good time. It does mean that Joe doesn't have to be pinned to lose. And I can't imagine. Well, I don't know. What am I going to say? So the thing is, on Wednesday, things will be a little more clear about how this shit's going to work, because on Wednesday, we'll find out who the number one contender is at Maximum Carnage, which is just a named Wednesday show they have. But the winner of Bandito and the winner of Bandito and Ricochet gets a title shot. So I think that's going to dictate who wins the big belt, because I don't think they would do Ricochet against Joe. Maybe they do Ricochet against MJF. Maybe. The fact that MJF is not challenging he has the ring. I hate the ring so much, but he has the ring. He's not challenging the winner of that for the ring. He's giving it up, I guess. So it's like, well, I could see it like be Bandito, and then he doesn't give Bandito the ring. So Bandito gets a title shot, but doesn't get the actual ring because MJF is just going to keep it. They could. So the thing is, if Bandito wins, anyone can win, because they will be happy to do face versus face. Totally happy to do that. Especially with like Swerve, who is kind of a heelish face. Hangman is oftentimes a heelish face. Like, they can just do that if they want to do that. We're done with the chest here, so we can start panel lining. Then we can start putting some stuff together here as we get this going. So they have a bunch of options of things they can do if they want to. I don't know what they're going to do with it. If Ricochet wins, then a babyface wins the championship, because I don't think they're going to do Ricochet against Joe or Ricochet against MJF. I don't think. They shouldn't. It's a weird thing to be doing while this is happening, is my general point. I don't know. Also, it's a thing to remember that surprise, we finally have a second ring winner. Yeah, Lashbrook, I kept waiting for them to say, and then, of course, the winner after that faces MJF. And I still think there's a chance that that MJF, like, that the rules change. Like, they give it like, oh, actually, like, they retcon it. I don't know. There's still a chance they retcon it so that MJF keeps his stupid ring. A really dumb callback to a thing that most people don't remember WCW doing. It is a callback to the Lord of the Ring. Diamond Dallas Page had a big diamond ring because he was Diamond Dallas Page. He had a big dumb ring that he won for being Lord of the Ring. And that's it. He just had a big ring and he hit people with it. And that is what this is a reference to. It is one of the dumbest things that AEW does, in my opinion. Sometimes MJF had to enter the Battle Royale. Sometimes he didn't have to, and it is challenged this year. No challenge. They'll have a new winner. But I imagine there'll be something going on there. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. Joe did beat... Joe did have one title defense, so you could argue that Joe, he got his one title defense. He beat Eddie Kingston. He didn't have a pay-per-view defense, but maybe they'll switch hands. I could also see him losing it on TV. I don't think that Samoa Joe is champion at Revolution in March. I'll say that. I don't think I don't know if Samoa Joe loses here, but I don't think he continues to go. Also, maybe we'll find out this weekend. They didn't do Bang Bang Gang versus FTR on the pay-per-view this coming next Saturday. They had it last night. So I'm like, oh God, the build isn't long enough, right? So like, is there a gauntlet thing or a battle royale for the number one contender, and then Christian and Copeland come out and win that? Like, I don't think that, like, I don't know who they fight on next Saturday, but I imagine they're on the card. It'd be weird if they weren't. But I feel like we're just setting up for Cope and Christian, and that'll be the Revolution match. I think that's my assumption. I don't know. But they should have some kind of match. It would be weird if they didn't. All right, let me just see here. Okay, it goes there, it goes there, it goes there. All right, great. I'm just going to start putting this together as we're building it. Now that I have this here. Hell yeah. Our guy doing doing its thing right there. So we got that done. Now we can move on to the legs. Let's get the legs together. It looks like we can do... Yeah, we're going to do 2 sets of it up until we... Yeah, we just do 2 sets. And then those connect there. And yeah. Nice and easy. The legs and the feet all go together. Basically the same. So we'll do all of this 2 at a time. But that's so far, we only have 6 matches on the card. Now, the Continental Classic semifinals and finals is going to eat up a lot of that time, right? So I could see them not having Mark Briscoe defend the title. Easily see that. Obviously, not obviously, but Okada is most likely at least in the semifinals, if not the finals, right? So like Okada's not going to defend the international title. Will Ricochet defend the national? I imagine Ricochet defends the national title, maybe even on the pre-show. So I imagine that'll be there. So the tag and the trios we know won't get defended unless they do Freebird rules, which I don't think AEW is going to do, where Hook can defend the trios titles on behalf of Samoa Joe. I don't think AEW is going to do that. They've only done that when they had to move the belts. They had I think Mox defended one of the titles because they wanted to move the trios titles off of them. So they've only done it like when they want to because someone can't compete, not because somebody is in another match. So I don't think they're going to do that. They could just say, oh yeah, well, the ops made special arrangements. They're going to defend the titles. But also the show's in Chicago, so it would be nice if Sky Blue did something as the Chicago girl. It would be nice, but I don't know. I'd like to. I hope they can find room for Eddie Kingston in the pre-show. Maybe be nice to see Eddie on there. I mean, it's always nice to see Eddie, so I'd like that. I don't know where the fuck Big Bill and Brian Keith are, but I would like them to return to TV. That would be really fucking good. Let's get Brian Keith and Big Bill out there doing their thing. There probably will be on the pre-show everyone who was in. So that might actually be where Mark. Oh no, I know he won't. Maybe that's where Mark Briscoe will be. Maybe, but like people who are in the Gold League and the Blue League who did not win and make it the semifinals might end up in the in like a big tag. So like that could be the thing. You could have whoever doesn't end up in the thing could end up being in a tag team fight. Like that makes sense. Mark Briscoe's not in it. What am I saying? But yeah, I would have thought maybe they would have a number 1 contenders for the tag belts like next week as a way to get a bunch of people on the card for the holidays. But I don't know who would win that unless it's like the Outrunners win or something. Maybe they've already done that with FTR and Outrunners, but they could do it again. Or like, I would have said Jurassic Express because I assume Jack Perry is not right now. Jack Perry does not. I don't think is going to have the points to make it to the semifinals and the finals. So yeah, I don't see that being a possibility, but it could be. We'll see how that goes. I don't think Jon Moxley should have won last night against Roderick Strong. I think Jon Moxley should have beaten Roderick Strong. I think it was I think it was a bad call. I think Jon Moxley should have only have beaten. Let's see. Moxley has beaten Dorada. I think he should only have beaten Dorada. And I'm going to be mad if Jon Moxley beats Orange Cassidy in this tournament, because I think he should lose to Orange Cassidy. He's definitely going to lose to Takeshita, so he might beat Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is just... They got to figure out something. Right now, he's not doing anything. He's just in a stable, but he's not even a champ. He's not even a mid-card champion. I feel like he came back from injury. Before he got injured, he was like dealing with a bunch of stuff and like in title contentions, and now he is just kind of lost in a drift, and I don't love that at all. So I would like him to have something going on. It would be nice. I don't know what that's going to be, but it would be nice if there was something for OC, because he fucking rules. I don't know. I would like to see FTR defend their titles against Jet Speed, but they're in the tournament, so unless they, I don't think either. Well, you know what? Let me look at this. Let me look at their numbers here. What number? As of right now, I mean, Speedball and Kevin both have 6 points. There's whatever happens on Saturday will change that. I haven't looked at that hours spoilers yet, but maybe one of them will make it to the semifinals. It's possible. It's kind of anybody's game in the Gold League. Blue League is. Yeah. I mean, I guess they wanted Roddy Strong still has, let's see. Roddy still has 2 matches, but he cannot get enough points to qualify. So, but he's not going to beat, he might beat Dorada, but he's not going to beat Castagnoli. So, yeah, Roddy right now is just to get some points, so he's not at 0. I guess that's the thing for him, is to get a point of some kind. All right, so we put this on like this. Because we are building the leg here. So this is going to go like that. Snap that together. Building the arms last feels very weird. Feels very strange for me to do. But that is what the instructions are saying to do in the order. So we'll go with that. Even though it feels fucking weird. Not so much gaming news this week. Hey, it's the end of the year. There's only so much. We'll talk about that on Saturday. There are some sales going on. Check your Steam wish list to see if there's anything there. I did get a game on sale. I believe that I will not be playing until next month because I just don't have the Tuesday for it. But there is a game that I did pick up on the Steam sale. You know what? Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what it is. The Steam sale's ongoing. It'll be over by the time I stream the game. It came out in June though, so like it's been out for a while. I just didn't get to it. I've heard very good things. So I will be playing next month. Cast and Chill. That's Cast and Chill. Cast and Chill. Which is a relaxing pixelated fishing thing where you're on a boat with a doggo and you're fishing, and it just looks fucking cool. I bought that game on sale. It's on sale on Steam, so I got that one, and I'll be showing that off next month. An update to a story that we have covered previously. Probably won't get more details than what I've got here to tell you, but I still want to tell you about this. The lawsuit between Tencent and Sony has been settled. You may remember us discussing Light of Mortaram, which by the trailers and the art and their Steam and Epic Store pages, a lot of people said, hey, this fucking just looks like a goddamn Horizon Zero Dawn ripoff. And then it was revealed that Tencent had apparently reached out. They wanted to make a game with like a Horizon Forbidden Dawn or for Zero Dawn game with Sony, and Sony was like, no. And so they just have their own game. There was a lawsuit filed. It has been settled out of court. Of course, we won't know all the details ever, really, because, you know, whatever. But I can say all parties are paying their own costs, and the settlement is confidential. But we will say that during all of this, at one point, Tencent removed they deleted the Steam page, and it has not gone back up. So that we can infer that game is done, and we'll just never see it light of day. Basically, Tencent was like, hey, we want to make a Zero Dawn game. And then we're like, no. And then all of a sudden they were just like, hey, we're working on this game. Check this out. Everybody get psyched. And Sony was pissed. Let's see. The only statement provided, Tencent made a statement to The Verge saying, SIE and Tencent are pleased to have reached a confidential resolution and will have no further public comment on this matter. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anything comes of this, but that is the update. Unfortunately, that is not the most juicy update. You know, nobody really wins. The best outcome would be a long, lengthy trial where in discovery, a bunch of bullshit for both companies comes to light and a lot of people get embarrassed. Like, that would be best case scenario. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, but we did get an out-of-court settlement. So I would argue, in my personal opinion, that this is good for Sony because Tencent didn't want to go to court over this. They wanted the judge to throw the case out. And the judge didn't throw the case out. So instead, a settlement happened. And to me, again, I don't know. I don't fucking know. That says that is a Sony win of some kind. But who knows? But I think Mortaram is now not a thing that anyone will ever hear about again. It'll just be occasionally somebody will bring it up and be like, hey, remember this thing remember that thing? And people are like, I don't know. Just another video game that will never come out. But this time we kind of know the reason why. Amazon Games Montreal. The people, what we're bringing you, March of Giants, the free-to-play the MOBA, M-O-B-A, the MOBA. I almost started saying an MMO. I started saying MOBA like I would say MMO. The one of them MOBAs has been acquired by Ubisoft. So, including the developers, not just the studio name and the rights to March of Giants. And so then you're going to continue working on the game. I mean, it makes sense for a studio in Montreal to get picked up by Ubisoft. Is Ubisoft the best place for a studio to land? Of course not. Could it have been worse? Yeah. I mean, one might make the argument that closure is and getting a proper severance is better than working at Ubisoft, but like I don't know. I just know it's fucking hard to make games and stay at a games company. So it's interesting that Amazon's is willing to sell as opposed to just shutting people down, which is what a lot of people assumed would be the case. So yeah, the senior production lead. So here's a fun thing. one might argue that Ubisoft was not buying a free-to-play game, MOBA, and they weren't buying a studio. One might argue that they were just getting back the former managing director at Ubisoft Toronto, and also the original creative director for Rainbow Six Siege, who were at that studio, the Amazon Games Montreal. You could make an argument that they were just like, wait, we can get these guys back? Okay, let's do it. You could make that argument, and I think that is a fair argument to make. They had nice things to say. Yves put out a statement about March of Giants and welcoming back. And apparently a lot of March of Giants were people that left Ubisoft. The March of Giants team were people that left Ubisoft, so they're back. You might call it a Jeff Gerstmann scenario, a giant bomb scenario, where people left to go be a studio, and then they went to a place, and then that place, then they got sold to and they're back where they were. One might make that argument. And apparently, part of the agreement is that Amazon is going to provide Ubisoft with marketing support on Twitch. So get ready for people that see ads. Get ready to see some ads for that. Which is like, okay. Like, yeah, sure. Whatever. So, yeah. And then one final story, a feel-good story, a lovely explanation for what things were happening. You may have heard, when you weren't supposed to, but you may have heard that Fortnite was going to have some Harry Potter content. Now, was that going to be part of a big thing like the Simpsons thing, or was it just going to be cosmetics? We didn't quite know. But there was going to be a Harry Potter thing in Fortnite. And there's going to be a bunch of, there's going to be a bunch of cosmetics about Harry Potter. And there are a lot of leakers there are a lot of people that make it their business to leak things about what's coming out on Fortnite. But this one account that leaked all the Harry Potter skins wasn't just doing it for clout or for wasn't just doing it to spread the information. They have said specifically that they they spoiled the surprise in protest of the inclusion because of Harry Potter authors J.K. Rowling's transphobic rhetoric. So they literally were like, I am spoiling this to be an asshole because Fortnite is working with an asshole. And that does my hater heart good. You love to hear it. That whips ass. Congratulations. Fortnite Underground, a Fortnite leaker who leaked the Harry Potter collaboration, has posted a lengthy explanation on X about why they chose to post about it ahead of its official announcement, saying they wanted to ruin the surprise in an act of protest and that Fortnite once stood for what was right, which is like, all right, well, no, they didn't. Fortnite is made by Epic. They're not standing for anything. I don't know. That's you putting your own personal feelings onto a game and a community, but I hear you. But nah, it's all right. Most people won't care. These outfits will probably sell pretty well. Most people will be happy to see one of their favorite childhood franchises come to the game. And Epic Games and J.K. Rowling will make plenty of money. In the same way that, hey, if you get the Harry Potter game for free, because you're like, oh, I didn't buy the Wizarding World, but it's a free game on Epic. Epic still has to pay the license. J.K. Rowling still makes money if you got your game for free. Someone is paying money. They're not losing money on that. They're not making as much money, but they're not losing money on it. Epic is still paying for you to play the fucking game. So, in the same way, if you're hearing oh, I got my cool wizarding hat. Oh, now everybody knows that I'm in Ravenclaw. Like, fuck off. But I'm not okay with it. I hope you're not okay with it either. Fortnite Underground signs off saying they wanted to spoil the collaboration in hopes that less people would buy it. And of course, there are plenty of people saying they are now going to specifically buy it, the Harry Potter stuff, as a counter protest because people are often garbage. But yeah, that is a lovely reason to spoil something, is just be like, hey, I want to point that out so that people have plenty of time to reckon with it. Also, that leak came out while people were mostly pretty universally positive about Fortnite, especially the Simpsons stuff, which was, by all accounts, pretty fucking rad. But yeah, happy that there's some people out there saying, hey, you know what? Here's the thing coming to Fortnite. If I could figure out where you stand on it. I mean, you all know where I stand on it. I was not going to be buying things in Fortnite either way. As a person who has only played Fortnite for the Lego stuff, which is pretty good. That is the only time I have played Fortnite. I wasn't going to be engaging, but I certainly wouldn't be engaging with Harry Potter bullshit. All right. And let's get this here. We are almost done with the leg. We're done with one leg. We'll get the other leg done. We're definitely going to finish this kit tonight, and we'll get some kit bashing going. Very excited about that. I look forward to getting goofy with this. We got some anime to talk about in the second hour. I'm trying to get caught up because, as many of you know, I did not stream last Thursday because I did not want to stream during the Game Awards. And then on Saturday, I had to cut the stream short due to internet connectivity issues. And so I didn't talk about the anime I've been watching. So we'll talk about one show. I have my notes. Thank God I have my notes because I do not remember this episode from last episode 12, which aired last Saturday or last Friday. So I was like, oh, good thing I have this. So I can talk about it. But yeah, we'll talk about one show there and then a few other ththings. And we'll talk about video games and the like and all of that in the second hour. But what we're going to do right now, before we panel line this and then get a leg together and work on the arms, is I'm going to do my pause for the cause. This is my opportunity to talk to you, the viewer, about ways that you can support me, the streamer. Everything I'm about to talk about here is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to, that would be great. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. Oh, looks like somebody's sub elapsed there, so we're now down to 33 subscribers. My goal is to get to 40. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when we hit 40. If you would like to become a subscriber, you can at the do that. You could also gift a sub. As I said, we're currently at 33 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about my subscriber count when we hit 40. If you wanted to gift a sub, you could do that. Bits and coins always appreciated as well. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch. You get Twitch Prime. You can use that token for anybody. If you want to use it for me, that would be great. Would love that. There are other ways to support what I do here financially. It's just that Twitch is the easiest because you're already here. I do have a Patreon, I should say, at patreon.com/PatBear. And if you would like to become a patron, you can join at the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me, your friend Pat, on Patreon. Check that out. I don't know. That is another way. I will have the last Q&A of 2025 recorded by the end of the month. So check that out. Let's see. There's that. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBaer. Over on my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free, and please do if you haven't. And you can also become a member. And for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So the video that I posted for everybody to watch yesterday, you could have seen that on Tuesday. You would have been ahead of the game. And that's just cool. So consider becoming a member over on YouTube for just $2 a month. Get a little stuff extra. Those are all monthly ways to support what I do here. If you would like to help me out just once in a while, you can always throw something in the tip jar. In this case, it's a Ko-Fi or a PayPal. And everything I make through direct donations like that, through YouTube, which includes AdSense. I am getting a payout next week from Google AdSense. It took me a year and change, but I'm getting another payout. And I will use that to buy model kits. So there you go. But yeah, AdSense through Patreon, through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And out of that fund, I take money out to buy model kits. The kit that I am about to start working on, after I'm done with this kit, the next kit that I'm going to be working on, I bought off Temu. I was able to take a risk and bought an $8 model kit because of your generosity. So thank you very much for that if you're helping out in any way. And if you want to help me out in the future, consider subscribing or joining the Patreon or becoming a member on YouTube. You know, there are various ways to help me out. Let's see, is there anything else I want to say about that? This kit that I'm currently working on, the IGLIGHT. I am working on this because somebody named Chris, thank you, Chris, who watches the VODs mostly. Chris bought this off my Amazon wish list, and it jumped the queue and became the next thing that I worked on. And if you would like a dedicated video on my YouTube channel and to have the thing that you purchased for me be the next thing I work on, you can buy it off of Amazon and do that. If you want to get me a Christmas gift, you could buy something for me to build. I've got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, very expensive kits, all kinds of different things and things. See if there's something on this here website list on Amazon. If you want me to build a 3-in-1 Lego set that includes me building an old rotary phone, among other things. That's a fun little bit of business. Or some knockoff Lego, or any kind of wild and weird stuff. Something from Jurassic Park. Want me to build a baby dinosaur named Dolores? Yeah, I'll build Dolores. I don't know why that baby dinosaur is named Dolores, but I'll build Dolores. You can buy that for me to build. There's expensive stuff. There's cheaper stuff. All kinds of different things and things. But see if there's something there. There is a Lego Sonic the Hedgehog thing where I could get a metal Sonic minifig. I would find that to be fun. But yeah, see if there's something there you'd like to see me put together. And if you want to pick it up, you can. It'll come to me and I'll build it. And we'll go like that. But there's a wide variety of different stuff. And there's some tools and some gear, because it's nice to have that in case you're like, I want to buy something, but I don't know what. Consider it if you wanted to. My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne, which I will be updating soon. And that's just nice to have alternatives for people. And the other alternative, the most convoluted way to support me financially, is to go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. Oops, I got to put this in correctly. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something for you to see me build from the USA Gundam Store. So you could do that if you wanted to. No pressure, but you could do that. People have. And it's been neat. And you can even be like, hey, here's $25 to the USA Gundam Store. You should buy this thing. And like, maybe I will. Like that is just a cool thing that could happen. Ooh, I just want to check this one quick thing. All right, this is fine. That's fine. If you want to support me but not spend any money, I get it. I have a Discord. You're welcome to join that Discord. We would love to have you hang out there in the Discord. Couple video links for you to check out. I will have a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club out on Monday, which will be my top 10 list for 2025, which I think I have all of the anime on the list. The order will change between now and this weekend when I film the video, but it's like, it's pretty locked. Like, and I know what you're saying, Pat, there's a couple shows that haven't had their last episode yet. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. They're not going to end up on the list. There was one that was in my top 15, but it's fine. But anyway, watch my most recent, which was my anime awards. I do my annual anime awards, gave out awards for some positives and some negatives, like worst trend and most disappointing personal, but also like biggest surprise. Like the things that I wanted to shout about. I also talked about the best pop culture reference in new panty and stocking with garter belt, because there were a lot of them, and there's one that stood out and I needed to shout out. So watch that video if you haven't seen it yet. My most recent episode of Kuma Baer. I gotta write down. Oh, that's fine. I have to look and see. Hold on one second. Sorry. There's going to be audio here in a second. No, there isn't audio. Great. I just need to see. Hold on. Okay. Whoops. That's fine. You didn't hear that. I had it muted. Great. Sorry, I got really distracted there. My apologies. The link I put in the chat, where I'll put in the chat right now to Kuma Baer, is the most recent episode of Kuma Baer, where I talk about Blue Submarine number 6. All this month, I'm talking about anime that you can watch for free with ads. And that is available for free with ads if you want to go watch that. You can go and watch that. I'm going to actually really quickly look up where that is, because I didn't write that down on here, but I will look it up, because I wrote it down somewhere else. So all this month I'm talking about anime you can just watch with ads, including the 4-part series, a short mini series that is basically the length of a movie, but they broke it up and like that as an OVA. It's available on Tubi. You can watch it dubbed or subbed on Tubi. So if you want to watch that, you can. It's fucking weird. I don't think that parts of it hold up. Not the story. The story is fucking weird, and the characterization I think is still really good. It's a blend of traditional drawn animation and CG, and I think the CG doesn't necessarily hold up now, 20 years later, but at the time, it fucking did. It looked good. More than 20 years, 25 years later, I still think it looks pretty fucking good in parts here and there. And at the time, it looked really cool and was interesting. I think you should check it out. Like, it's the length of a movie, right? 2 hours. You should watch it. You can watch it dubbed or subbed on Tubi. Again, free with ads. That is the whole theme of this month. So thanks for indulging me on that. All right, so I'm going to drink some water because I really need to do that. And then we're going to talk about some anime episodes. We'll be finishing off 2 shows, episode 12 to 2 shows, and then episode 12 of 13 of 1 show. And we'll finish that other show up on Saturday. Before I drink that, before we go to do that, and I keep working on this kit, I do need to drink some water. We need to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera, which we will do right now. All right. Episode 12 of 12 of Yano-kun's Ordinary Days. We finally find out. So, if you are not watching the show, it is a lovely series about a dude named Yano who just falls all the time. He is incredibly accident prone. He means well. And he just is kind of going through the motions, trying to be a good dude, but just like kind of beaten down by his own clumsiness. His dad is clumsy as well. A girl who is worried about him ends up becoming really kind of interested in him as a friend, and then more, and they start dating, and it's very fucking cute. The first half of the series is them kind of coming to know each other. The second half is them being very awkward daters. But towards the end of the series, we were introduced to a mystery character, a girl who knew Yano from his past, and he was trying to avoid her. And we were maybe going to unlock the mystery of the fact that he wears an eye patch all the time. And it's because, due to an accident, one of his eyes is a different color than the other. And it's a whole fucking thing. But we find out after them kind of being around each other, this girl, Okamoto, knew our guy Yano in junior high. And Okamoto's just like, hey, I understand if you don't want to be around me because he's been avoiding her. Are you still worried about that curse? Which is like a weird thing to say, and we understand why later, but it's just like, hey, all right. So apparently there was a rumor in high school, in junior high, that he was cursed because he kept getting hurt. And so a lot of people avoided him in junior high, except for Okamoto, who decided, like, it was basically his first friend, decided to like reach out to him and be friends. Apparently that's the first person outside of family that ever saw that his eye was a different color. But right after he showed her that he has two different colored eyes, a sign fell on them and they both got hurt. And then some people who were being assholes, junior high assholes, spread the rumor that if you saw his eye, you would get cursed and you'd become as clumsy as he was. And, you know, he's a young guy. He doesn't have, you know, enough self-confidence. He does start believing that maybe he is cursed. And so he sets out to just always avoid Okamoto. And so Yoshida's just like, fuck. He really does think he's cursed. That sucks. She's trying to be a good girlfriend and a good friend, but like he's real beaten up about this. And it's like, damn, that's hard. That's rough. And that's why Yano always wears his eye patch in public. Hashabara finds out what's going on. Okamoto finds out that Yano's hurting, and she's like, I blame myself because now a bunch of people are feeling bad because I brought it up. And it's like, it's not her fault. But Yoshida's just like, no, it's not your fault, but also there's an easy solution to this. And it's just like, we don't believe in the curse, and we don't treat Yano any differently. We just treat him like we always have because there's nothing wrong with him. Good. But it's hard to do that because Yano is trying to avoid all of them, and we have a bunch of scenes of him trying to avoid them and also befalling clumsiness because he is still a clumsy person. He cannot change that about himself. And eventually he says, I'm sorry I was avoiding you. I missed everybody. Because Yano has a close friend group now and a girlfriend. And he's kind of gotten used to that. So he was feeling weird about avoiding them. And then Okamoto is just like, hey, the thing that, like, the accident didn't bother me as much as you avoiding me. And you deciding you didn't want to be friends with me anymore. Like, that's what hurt me. Because, you know, you didn't do anything wrong. But you were blaming yourself for it. Okamoto is officially added to the friend group, which is kind of wild, but sure, okay. She's in the group now. And then the last part of this episode and the last part of this season, and probably the show, I don't know if it'll get a second season, is Yano's eye patch just falls off And Yoshida sees the eye. And she thinks it's beautiful. And that's the end of the show. Because she's fucking in deep for this dude. That is different colored eye. She thinks it's great. And that's Yano-kun's Ordinary Days, available on Crunchyroll. It's lovely. I think it's like really fun. I recommend it if you were looking for a slice of life where there is not too much will they won't they, because they do. That is set in a high school and is cute. That is real. It is, fantastical in that this dude is so accident prone that is impossible for him to like continue to exist the way he does. But it is realistic in that when Yoshida first starts becoming aware of Yano, her first thought is like, is this dude like in trouble? Is he getting bullied? Is he from a broken home? Like, what's up with this guy? Why is he constantly hurt? And it's cute. It's very cute and charming. I'm a big fan of it. I highly recommend Yano-kun's Ordinary Days. It's fucking good. You should check it out. Now, the 12th episode of a Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. So, this series, a god resurrects a guy that just wants a slow life in another world, gives him a bunch of powers, and just says like, hey, do your best to help people. Gives him the big task of like saving the world, but go at your own pace to save the world. And our guy just wants to gather ingredients and be in nature and hang out with his dragon friend and his dragon man friend and the elf who uses she/her pronouns but is a hermaphrodite, and it's complicated. We'll talk more about that character. And also they're a goddess that takes the form of a human or a unicorn or a Pegasus or a horse, depending. Which we start with some stuff about her because they're trying to track down the god of the elves. And so they are trying to find this god. And they discover an elf village where Brolight, who is a descendant of the High Elves, reunites with her sister, Ludicara. Ludicara had run away from home. And Ludicara has a son who, because she ended up in a relationship with an elf that is not a high elf. The whole thing with the elves is they've only married within the bloodline. And it's been obviously a fucking nightmare. And so they're trying to figure out, like, maybe God will be able to convince these elves to stop being stupid in this regard. So they're hoping that this will work out. They don't know if it will, but they're hoping it will. This was all in the manga, and I'm surprised all of it ended up in the anime, but it did. She ran away. She married a normal elf. They became pregnant, and their child does not have any anything wrong with it, because of course. Because the bloodline isn't cursed, they're just fucking inbred. So the next day they find the goddess of the elves, and they bring the goddess to the palace for the high elves, and they're just like, what? You're back and you had a child? What? And then the goddess is like, hey, when I said value family above everything, I did not mean this, you dumbasses. Have kids with other elves. What are we doing here? And then they finally listen to their god. Some of them don't want to, but it's like, all right. So that got fixed. They're going to have a big meeting with the other elves around the world to try to figure this shit out. Takaru's a hero. He is the human hero. And he's like, all right, we're going to keep going, Brolight, they probably need you here, right, to like help figure this shit out. So we're gonna bounce. But you know, at some point we'll meet up again. So there's the tearful goodbye with Brolight, who is gonna hang out there and not continue on the adventures. Takaru gets these scissors that he really wanted so he can do harvesting of things. It's a whole thing. Basically, he gets these crazy weapons, but he doesn't think of them as weapons. He thinks of them as just tools. And they're going to go to the ocean. So they're going to go to their port city, go to the ocean. The adventures continue. And on the way, Brolight returns. In the manga, it's maybe like a couple more days. They shortened it for the anime. Because her family was just like, hey, you don't want to fucking be here. Go explore the world. They basically told her to go do whatever she wanted to do, because clearly what she wanted to do was be with her friends. And so she's going to go be with her friends. And then we see the god that originally summoned our boy and put him on this earth. And basically that god is like, wow, it only took Takaru a couple days to save the fate of the elves, an entire species. It only took him a couple days to completely save their entire thing. He's like, I can't wait to find out what he does next. He's basically the end of the series. So that's A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. Do I recommend you watch the show? If you really like Isekai, this is an easy to watch Isekai. There is some action. It is mostly goofing around. I will say that the dragon, B, is a very cute dragon friend. That's a good time. That's fun. So you might like B. It's okay. It ain't great. It's not my favorite show of the year. It's not going to be in my top 10, but it's a fine isekai. I think it's got some good points to it. I would say you can check that out. You could find there's a world where you like that. So maybe you want to check it out. I liked it just fine. It is an easy watch. I will say that. And the fact that they handled the elf situation in the way they did and actually did the things from the manga and the light novel instead of trying to retcon it or having their own version and not dealing with it. I thought that was cool. Because I didn't know how they were going to handle it, and I think they did a pretty alright job with it. So that is A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. It's alright. And now, episode 12 of 13 of May I Ask for One Final Thing, where I will talk about the last episode this weekend. But right now I can talk about the episode 12. So right now we got our girl. She's a representative of a god, the god of time. Another god has taken basically a human form by isekaiing someone, and she is looking to basically, this god didn't want to be with this goddess, so this goddess is now going to destroy the things that the god likes, which is the world, basically, and the religion that worships him. So one of the things that happened is that this girl, Terraneza, who is basically the living embodiment of a goddess, has stolen the holy powers of a girl named Diana. So Scarlet and team are going to infiltrate and take care of them. They go to a dungeon where there's a holy gem in order to find Terraneza. This is a very funny scene. This entire segment is great. Basically, it's a dungeon full of traps, and instead of carefully disarming them, our girl Scarlet just uses her overwhelming strength and her ability to slow down time to just plow through all of them. She just breaks all of them, and then you have a bunch of these soldiers that are, that worship the evil goddess, and they're like, having a comedic freak out about like, how did you do what happened, and then she just whoops all their asses, and it's great. Let's see. There is a trap that weakens Scarlet. Scarlet is now theoretically weaker than she was before, but she's still very strong because she did have a power up pretty recently, so she's still like not like, I would not describe her as weak or anything. She's still going to be pretty damn strong. All right, I need A17 here, so we'll get that out. Let's see. They locate Terraneza. She's going to destroy the gem. The soldiers try to kill Diana, and they're being protected. Scarlet overpowers the member of the church that is trying to weaken her. Scarlet and Julius go ahead. Julius stays behind to fight another underling so that Scarlet can press forward. And then we get a fun fight with Scarlet and Terraneza both using their holy powers to fight each other, and it's a good back and forth. And then eventually Scarlet is just like, oh yeah, hey, I don't really actually have to defeat you. I just need to do this. And then she takes the powers that Terraneza, the goddess, had stolen and given to Terraneza, and they go back to Diana just in time because the soldiers were encroaching on them. Now she has her powers back, and she used her powers, which is great. Unfortunately, Julius has a brainwashing spell implanted in him. He's the prince who has been weird to our girl a lot, but like clearly is enamored with her, but not like romantically, but is weird, and I don't like him, but whatever. Anyway, he's brainwashed. He shows up. And now Terraneza is just like, great, this is going to be awesome. I can now destroy what I need to destroy, because there's no way that you'll attack the guy that loves you. Like, clearly you two are lovers, and there's no way that you'll attack him. Oh, Scarlet is already attacking him. Because, well, one, she doesn't love him. At the very least, she is convinced she doesn't love him. And two, like, nothing's going to stand in the way of her punching the person that needs to get punched. So, she just immediately starts attacking Julius. That's the end of the episode. I can't wait for this show to conclude. The most recent saga that is going on in it has been kind of interesting. There's a lot of the dragon people and a whole civil war, and it's been kind of cool. And there were some touches about like what's going on with the world and a little bit of storytelling stuff with Scarlet that was kind of interesting. But I'm excited for the final episode of the show. It is fun. It is a good dumb time. She'll never get through all of these traps thing literally being countered by her just punching her way through was real good bit of business. All right, I gotta figure out what am I doing wrong here. This has got to go in like this, and then that must rest like that. Okay, that goes like that. All right, great. All right, we're almost body complete on this kit, and then we can build some weapons, and then kit bash this shit. Can't wait to kit bash this. But that's the end of me talking about the anime that I have been watching. What I would like to hear from you, friends, is what are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always love hearing from you about those things and things. So if you've been up to anything, you're playing any video games, reading anything, you go to the movies, you getting stuff ready for Christmas, you get in the Christmas spirit with anything, you buying yourself some Christmas gifts. Well, I'd love to hear from you about those things. We got some time left in the stream, so feel free to let me know what's going on. I will say that since Tuesday, have not touched Power Wash Simulator 2. I did stream that on Tuesday. Thank you to everybody that came by the stream. It was nice to have you there. That was a fun one. There was an announcement that their first paid pack will be Adventure Time. They got the Adventure Time license, and that should be pretty fucking cool. There's a lot about Adventure Time that I don't remember. I have watched the series, but it's been a fucking minute. So there'll be some stuff that I go, oh yeah. And there'll probably be some stuff that I go, I don't remember this, but okay. I do remember this character, but I don't know. I am not fully sure about what to expect from that DLC pack, but I am excited for it because I think it'll be cool. So I am excited to see what they do with that. Other video game stuff, like I said, I bought a game, Cast and Chill, so I'm excited to play that a little bit before we stream it next year, honestly. I watched wrestling last night. I'll be watching some wrestling tomorrow with some friends, which is always a good time, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I have off the top of my head to talk about. There's not a lot. I finished up all of the project stuff that I do this week. There's nothing else for me to do probably for the rest of the year. The first week of June. Let's see. The first week of January, I should say, not June. The first full week, so like the 5th, there are a bunch of projects that I'm going to be handed then. So right now I'm like figuring out what I'm going to talk about for Kuma Baer next month, because Kuma Baer is my, the January I'll be talking about the fall stuff this season, my favorite shows from that. So I'm getting that together. I'm figuring out the February, which is romance, my favorite romance anime. I record the February ones in during January, because for the month of February I am in my the Carolina room, the bonus room, as opposed to being in this room. And I want my backdrop, because I have the backdrop of the wall there. I want it to be the same and not be in a different location. So I don't mind recording Pat Bear's Anime Club that month from another room, because I use the green screen, but I don't want that one to be different for 4 episodes. So I'll do that in this room here. And that'll work out just fine. But I have to figure those out and get those started to record in January. And I don't want to wait. So I do them there'll be a week where I'm I can get a couple of these done now, so I'll just do them now, that kind of thing. The last Pat Bear's Anime Club of this month, I'm recording on stream, and so that week I won't have a Pat Bear's Anime Club to record, so I'll record a couple Kuma Bears for stuff in the future and just kind of do them 2 at a time, on my off weeks. It'll all work out, and it works out pretty good. All right, we got weapons to build here, and then we are done. We'll build some weapons. We'll take a photo, and then we will kit bash this thing. I'm very excited about that. Lashbrook says, I rewatched season 1 of the Fallout show and prep for the first episode of season 2 yesterday. I never played New Vegas, but I'm curious how they're going to handle this adaptation. So, look, Lashbrook, I don't think you should necessarily go back to New Vegas, but Fallout New Vegas is my favorite Fallout. I love Fallout New Vegas more than 3 and 4 and 76 and 1 and 2. It's, and Fallout Shelter. I just think it's so fucking good. Obsidian did such a phenomenal job with New Vegas. I am excited for this adaptation as well. I don't know if I'm going to rewatch season 1, but I applaud you for doing so. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they end up doing with the show. All right. So we got a gun here. And put that there. We do need to panel line this. And then this is called the Roy. And it's just a little drone thing. But you can also have it come around as a drone. But you can also put it on the kit. So we will do that as well. We'll do that. And then we'll take a photo of this. And then we'll do some kit bashing. Laura Crash says, in the wake of Rob Reiner's death, I watched This Is Spinal Tap for the first time. It is a really fun movie. I've seen all the references, so I knew some of the stuff that would happen. It's also good to hear a couple songs that would show up in Guitar Hero and Rock Band later on. Yeah, man. I mean, This Is Spinal Tap is just a good mockumentary. It's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, Fran Drescher's in this, you know, like, oh shit, this joke and that joke. And of course the jokes that end up in The Simpsons that some people saw beforehand. But there are so many good goddamn gags in This Is Spinal Tap that are just really fucking good. But yeah, I think it holds up. I think that's a really fucking funny thing. There's just some really stupid, dumb jokes that are fully committed to in that. They're totally worth checking out. Hell yeah. As I said, I watched Muppet Family Christmas. I don't know if I'll watch it again. I'm probably going to watch it again like this weekend. I don't know what else I'll watch. I will most likely watch the last episode of the first season of Laid Back Camp for the Santa Clangers. That's a good Christmas episode of an anime. I did a whole video on that of some of the best ones, and some of the don't watch that one. But that one's really fun. That's a very good Santa episode. Maybe I'll finish the Santa anime that's out this season that I didn't think was particularly that good, but I know some people really liked it. So maybe I'll finish that, but I probably won't because I really didn't like it. Maybe I'll finish it. Probably not. So yeah, I might watch. I'm only in last year or two learned it's tied pretty close to Fallout 2, the game. Yes, New Vegas and Fallout 2 have a lot. There are whole big supporting character things in New Vegas that are tied to Fallout 2. I need to finish Fallout 2 run. I started after the show came out, and maybe I do New Vegas. Yeah, I mean there are plenty of good mods out there to make New Vegas run as well as it can. Like there are a lot of dumb mods for New Vegas, but there's a lot of like beneficial mods for New Vegas and also 4 and 3 as well. But the Nexus mod community really did do a lot of work for New Vegas. I keep thinking about reinstalling 4 because I haven't run 4 on this computer since I got it, and I'm like, maybe I should get back into 4. And I'm like, no, you don't want to get back into Fallout 4, Pat. Really don't. But I'm like, maybe I do. I want to have a bunch of mods and cheats, and there's years of new mods that I haven't tried, and Fallout. Like maybe I do want to get back into Fallout 4, but I don't think I do. Because I'm like, maybe I could do like some Fallout 4 streams of like some weird mod. Like there's some strange mods out there that I've seen that I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. There's a mod where every time you kill an enemy, you suddenly get a new gun. And I'm like, that sounds pretty cool and dumb. I'm like, I could get into that. Like maybe that's a stream. Get some real weird mods for Fallout 4. All right, I'm just going to clean this up, and then we are done with this kit. The IGLIGHT, which is a pretty cool little robot friend. Good colors on this kit. It's got itself a gun there. Put the gun on. Gun there. And then it's got a little thing there as well. And that's our kit. So we'll take a photo of this. And then we'll do some kit bashing. Lord Crashington wants to be the dance button. Thank you, Lord Crashington. If you're unfamiliar, if you use your channel points, you can request that I play the dance button, which is a new song every month. And here we go. It's holiday themed because you know it's holiday themed. And I'll get my camera ready while I'm doing a little dancing. do 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 do. All right. So let's get. So the IGLIGHT is finished, and now the kit bashing. You may remember me discussing. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this thing. I'll get rid of that for now. You may remember me discussing what a while ago another kit that came out that I built here, another 30-minute missions kit that I built when I said I'm going to have to get another kit to kit bash with this. And that was the horse mech, the white horse mech here. Here is the white horse mech. Now, could we just put it on there? Just do it like that. There's a kit bash right there. Done. Kit bash. Horse meat rider. But no. This horse came with this piece here. Yes, rider meet horse. And this piece right here, Plorf says, I just got a couple 30-minute mission kits from my backlog today. Nice. We're going to make a centaur. The reason why the IGLIGHT was on my Amazon wish list is because it was white colored so that I could kit bash it with the horse mech and make a centaur, because they give you this piece to be the bridge to a centaur. And now it's a fucking centaur. No, we're gonna do more, but this is basically all the kit bash is. Now, there's purple, like there's only purple on the top half. So we gotta mix things up. We're gonna take the backpack off. We don't need a backpack on there. We can take the backpack off. It's missing something. This is the core idea, but it's missing something. It needs a little bit more. It's not enough. We need a little bit of a gray in some places. We need a little bit of, we need to spruce it up a little. Ideally, there'd be some purple somewhere on here, right? So we're going to play around with it. We got some time left in the stream. We're going to play around with it a little bit. Right now, maybe I'm going to keep the backpack on. Maybe I like the backpack. I think it's fine to have a backpack on there. Now, what I can do is I can take this weapon off. Oops, didn't want to do that. I can take the weapon off. I can put the weapon on the leg. That gives us something. Gives us a little bit of color on here. It does fit on there because it's a 30-minute missions kit. So there we go. Now we have a little bit more purple on this kit, so it's not just on the torso. So what else can we do? Well, we got this weapon here. This one doesn't have a peg anywhere, but it does have... It can't do that. That's cool. Is there somewhere that we can snap this anywhere? That's not going to work. Like, ideally, I'd be able to do this, and then I'd have a little bit of color there, but I can't do that. So we might just have it continue to hold this gun, just to have something going on there. Because then it's a centaur with the gun. It's a robo-centaur. So I'm thinking about other stuff we can do here. We could... how's this go? It just pegs in like that. So the legs, unfortunately, don't operate the... Ooh, wait a minute. Oh. Okay. There's some... Oh, god damn it, it doesn't fit. That's bullshit. I bet there is a 30-minute missions kit with a leg that can switch in here, and I can switch out the hooves. That sucks. That does not fit. I bet I could make that fit at some point, but that doesn't fit there, and that's a shame. That's a real shame. Yeah, because I can take the... something I could do with that. Yeah, that's a real shame. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, so that's not going to work. So right now, the only purple we have outside of the the front there is the weapon, which isn't the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, but that's the only part that's connected to it, is the weapon on the back. That's not a problem. We can also maybe put the weapon somewhere else. I don't know where we put it. That's a real good spot for it, so we'll keep it there. That is a cool spot for it. And it gives a little bit of something there. All right, let's see. Is there any other gray or purple we can add and swap around here that would make sense? Like, I'm looking. I'm thinking about it. We could take the shoulders off. That makes it naked. We don't want that. I was like, oh, we can take the shoulders off to kind of hide the purple, but that doesn't look good like that. So we don't want to do that. Okay. Is there anything else we can do? Guess we could. We could give it one set of human legs. I think that's a very weird idea. But we could do this. Could do that. Humanoid legs, I should say. Not necessarily human legs, but humanoid legs. I don't hate... You know what? I don't hate that. That would get us some purple. That would give us some purple if we do that. Take the... Gives us a little bit of purple that way. Yeah, I don't hate that. We're just figuring it out, right? This is the one of the joys of the 30-minute missions kits, is you can just kind of like play around a little bit with some stuff and make some combinations. So that makes the leg, yeah, the back here. The back here have those legs. It gives it a little purple to the side of the kit. You can see there. A little purple. The front still has hooves. I mean, if I just replaced the feet, that would have been ideal, but I can't replace just the hooves because it's just not the right kind of pegs there. All right, is there anything else that we can do easy here? I don't know how this would fit in these thigh pieces here, if these fit anywhere. I don't think they would. There's anything here. There's a lot of places to connect things on here. A lot of places to snap things in. Because like you can buy armor kits for the horse, right? Or you did it for another kit and you can just attach those, which is very fun. That's why there's all these pegs here for weapons and stuff like that. And it really does open up a lot of possibilities. I wish this did peg into an arm so that we could put it back here and have them both on there. That would be ideal. That is unfortunately not an option. But having the like humanoid back feet, I don't think is a bad call. And then this is the only other part that I could think about trying to find room for, but I don't know where that was to go. I don't think that's going to fit on here. Yeah, no, that's not going to fit on there. Like these, yeah, this is just me like wanting to add more purple. It's not a thing that needs to be on there. It's not a thing I'm actually worried about. Like, it's okay. It's like, you know, if I could find a place for these pieces, I'd be happy. But, I mean, I can add this like this, but this like, what is this? Why am I doing that? Am I doing that just because I want more purple? Like, I actually don't hate that. I don't know what it's for, but I don't hate it. I do, I don't know. Do I like that or not? I don't know. Am I doing this just to add things? Does this serve any purpose? Does it do anything? Is it just like, oh, it's just more it's kind of cool. I think it looks kind of neat. Because it adds a little more purple to the kit. I don't hate it. This thing doesn't want to pop right out, so I will probably end up having to add, can add just a little bit of blue tack. I'll probably just add a little blue tack in there because the torso is a little heavy. So we'll add a little bit of blue tack and then maybe a little bit more if I need to. I'm just using this blue tack, this whatever. I got it. A little goes a long way. I think this is the stuff I bought like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It's just good to have in my toolkit for stuff like this. Because some older kits, you know, just don't really have a good, connection. So that'll just kind of help with that. Oops, this came off. Yeah, there we go. This is the thing I wanted to do, was I wanted to make a centaur, and now I have a centaur. It's very silly. This is a very stupid thing that I've got here. But I did it. This is why this kit was on the wish list, is so that, and I saved the horse, is so that I can put these together and make a centaur. Our battle horse is complete. This is goofy in a way that I'm real into. Yeah, it goes back there if you want to go back there. Yeah, this is dumb. This is dumb in a way that I can really get behind. And now I just have a horse head, a 30-minute horse head. Oh, well, I can do this. There. I can make an abomination. There, I made a fucking nightmare. Congratulations to me. Made a horse waist nightmare thing. I can't even put the full legs on because I used the connectors there. Very dumb. Very dumb. Hooray. So yeah, that's my kit bash, our second kit bash of the year. It's bad. It is a bad project that I'm very proud of. My dumb nightmare of making a centaur. Now I have a robot centaur, and I can look at this fucking monstrosity whenever I want. And I'll have to take a photo of it after the stream. And that's gonna do it for tonight's stream, I guess. On Saturday, we will be starting, as mentioned, it does take priority because I have it. On Saturday, I will be building the bootleg Death Scythe Hell custom that I bought on Temu. That is 100% a bootleg. There's no way this isn't a bootleg. Just look at how shitty this art is on here. Clearly a photocopy. There's staples on the box. It's a fucking bootleg. It's a goddamn bootleg, and I'm ecstatic to build this shitty ass bootleg, which I've already cleaned once and will be cleaning as I build. Oh wow, the background is fighting to get into this stream. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. What's going to happen right now is we are going to go on a raid. We're going to go find somebody doing cool stuff that we want to go hang out with them, and see what's going on and keep the party going. Yes, we always end with a raid, as John says, and as Lord Crashin says, stupid, sexy centaur. Indeed. Man, I got myself a 30-minute mission centaur. I'm very excited about that. Let's see. I want to raid somebody who is not Giant Bomb Forever. No offense, Giant Bomb Forever. Let's see. There's a couple. All right, well, we have not raided P2 in a while. P2 is playing late game Silent Hill F. So if you don't want to be spoiled about Silent Hill F late game, don't come along on this raid. If you don't mind, come along because it'll be fun. P2 is a gem. Very excited to go raid P2, the P2 Zoo, indeed. Thank you all so much for joining the stream tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. I hope to see you on Saturday as I embark on a nightmare build. I will be fucking mad at this build because I bet it's ass. But I'm very excited to hang out with you again. Thank you all so much for being here. I will see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.